Please feel free to call me Sean. And a bit of my name is, a bit of my background. I was born in a farmer's family, which is my village. It's not in the capital city. I'm living in the northern part of the country, what we call the place near the Ho Chi Minh Trail. I'm sure you heard something about that Ho Chi Minh Trail in that province. But according to the bombing situation, a lot of people, huge group of population in that province, we migrate from that province to Vientiane because of we avoid the bombing at that time. So that's why I was born in Vientiane, but we still have our own career. We are farmers. We have a large farmer now, but it's in outskirts of the city. So finally, I graduated from the Dong Duc University in Vientiane. I used to be a monk for 5 years. And also why I end up with this job, because this is one of my best jobs that I like. I used to put several hats before I end up with this job. I used to be a waiter, I used to be a doorman, and also I used to be the what we call, you know, the bartender, you know, you mix the drink, everything. And that is all about. But why I like this job, the first one is because I like to show my country to the travelers. I like to show what we had in our country to the travelers. And I like to talk, to chat, to exchange the interculture to most of the foreigners as well. One day in my farm, I got a huge group of travelers coming in my farm during I'm harvesting the rice. And I saw one man, he's a trip leader, he just explained blah, 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 everything. And I found that is what I'm going to be after I graduate from the university. So that's why I finally get successful with my job. And finally I end up to work with OAT because of the uniqueness of the company. Why is that? I used to work with several companies in our country, but it's not like this company, because most of the company that they run the tour with a tourism version, what we call tourist version, and OAT run the tour with traveling experience version. So that's why I will name everyone is like travelers here. You are not tourists, because of what OAT provide to our traveler is experience. One aims together, why we are grouping together here, because you want experience. It's nothing about just taking pictures and walk away, and when you go back home you just look at the pictures. If you do that way, you might not bring the good experience with you at the end of the tour. That's why my aim here is to provide you most of the best experience before leaving my country.
ไทยนี่มันช่วงอาหารติดกับอาหารที่ใช้ต้องกินไทย
สรุปมาลองดิถ่ายรูปกันนะ This is very unique for our country because what we do is because what we do is we always release this one in terms of we release the bad luck, or to release out from our body. And remember the recently tsunami, 1,000 of people get died from the tsunami. That's why among our two countries, Laos and Thailand, we are located in two sides of the Mekong River. We do the same time, the same day, we releasing the lantern to the sky, and then on the sky at that day, it's all over the lantern, just to pay respect to the dead people at the tsunami day. And today, the aim today is I would like to release this one because of my cousins leaving me.
Does anybody have?
So I will split the group to 3. Okay, you will hold like this. We have 3 of you. Three of you hold like this.
1, 2, 3.
3, and then one more here. One more here.
Okay, good.
Yeah. We can do 3 and 2. Yeah.
Okay. And here I am. Jen, why don't you hold it too?
No, I'm good.
Somewhere else.
She has a
So what make the
I'm in
fire
another
is
class,
we
another
had the paper, the tissue, and then we put the wax on that.
Yes.
Okay, and then it make the fire, the heater there.
Yeah.
You could do the one no.
Yeah, it's great. Imagine how much leaves that.
Yeah. Yeah, after a minute. So once you feel they had a power enough to make it stay, then you can move your hand to hold the bottom part here. Yeah. So after 1, 2, 3, and then we will release together. It will take some minutes. Yeah. Did you feel it?
Are we okay?
Yeah, we good.
Hello. Did you feel
Take your hand away.
Okay, we're gonna release together. 1, 2, 3.
We win.
Chào bạn ơi. Chào nhiên con.
Did we ever catch on fire?
I think it needs to take a little bit time.
I think ours is gonna win.
The lanterns in our term is khom loi, like KOMLOI, khom loi. Loi mean like floating, higher and higher. All right. Yep, shall we?
That was great. Getting ready to launch another.
So that's why this one we always put the top of the bad karma, calm down the bad karma. But this is the philosophy of the Buddha. So mainly, we always have this side. But sometimes you will see the other people, they put on the other side. But because of they didn't know about that meaning.
Okay.
So normally we have like this. And tie it on like this for, in general, for lady or gentleman. But somehow, for the lady, they can do like this way. You wrap it up your body, you put on up here. But this is specially for the lady. For the lady. But gentlemen, we always see like they are doing like this one. And about these things, very important when people get married, the bride and the groom, they're going to have this one as well on the shoulders, just for the contrast. For the contrast. What about this one? So this one is I just work out with the local people nearby, and then they're so kind. They steam the sticky rice for us. The way to do it is you just open it up and then fold it under. The point is we're gonna make that easy for you to carry. Normally we use left hand to hold the basket and right hand to pick up the sticky rice. But the way you make the sticky rice, you just pick up like one full hand and put in the monk's bowl. The monks, they will walk this way. His bowl is about this level. And then he will stop by you, but not very long. You know, he will keep going. But it doesn't matter if you skip this monk and offer to the other monk, because you might not control your speed, you know, going like this, because if you're not familiar with the sticky rice. So that's why our local culture, I advise you to use the hand, because of spoon, it's not our culture. But what we do is, we like to follow the grandfather, grandmother to the temple, offering the sticky rice to the monk, or coming like this with our parents. Because, you know, after the monk, he got the candy in his bowl. He take his candy and give back to me, give back to the children. That means a lot of children like to come with the parents and sitting beside the parents, because they get some candy from the monk as well. And this is the way we learn. We learn from grandparents. Parents bring us to the temple. But one thing we believe, this one is the kind of goes around, come around. We believe this one is the best way to do good karma. What you prefer the next rebirth, you can doing like good karma in this lifetime. We believe in next rebirth. After people pass away, the next reborn, if you offering a lot of sticky rice, you will have plenty of food to eat. That is what we believe. And then we believe those ancestors that already passed away, we like to treat them well. What we know, like our ancestors like to eat, we always offering those type of food to the monk. And can be sticky rice, can be boiled chickens, or sometime in my birthday, during my birthday, I wake up early. You know what I offer to the monk? I provide a piece of pizza. Pizza to offer to the monk. You know, because I want my grandfather to try a new things. But this is the idea. We like sharing, we like giving. Because of in terms of giving, this is talking about the willingness and charity. You know, sometimes this sticky rice basket, if you give to the monk, but if your mind not happy to give, that means you will not have a good karma back. In general, the good karma of the people is, so if you, after you do donation, the good karma you get is you get happiness here. But in our culture, good karma is, we believe it's something like gonna come after, gonna be a good luck, gonna be money come after. That is about what we believe. But to you, according to what we share to those people, what we share to the monk, it's gonna make you happy. When people happy here, that means you will have good life, you will have long life, you will get a smile, And that is already your happiness, your good karma because of what you do, because your good mind, it makes you having a good life. I quite love the philosophy of the Buddha because of it makes people very stable, very calm down, and very peaceful. It's a kind of life sufficiency. If you don't mind, just make shoes off and then have your chairs here. Yeah,
Over that way.
Yeah, this is for the lady.
Okay.
It's now 5:45 in the morning. We got here about 5:30, and the monks are, you can see them coming down here. So this is how they get fed. The people come, bring food to the monks, and then as soon as they come, people with their monk bowl, and people put the food in there.
Is that okay?
And our guide has gotten sticky rice, that's what he's described. And there's a tour group here, and where they are right now. But then these are native people who feed every day, feed the monks.
I don't have a flash. I didn't put a flash. I didn't change.
Can I put it to off first and then one the month? The month's coming.
We have to stand up or sit down? Say anything?
No, just concentrate. Something about American, American, they wicked bombing along Ho Chi Minh Trail, but most of our population, because of the Buddhism religions, the attitude between the local and American it's regular. You are like normal foreigner, because the way we adopt related to the religion is we learn to forgive. We not stick in the hurt point, but we just forgive, let it go. And then the leftover we have is the happiness. In our culture, in your birthday's party, you might birthday day. I mean, you might need something from friends and parents. But in our culture, during my birthday, for example, I gonna prepare some gift and give back to my parents. You know why? Because that is her hard time. The day that I was born, that is her terrible time. So that's why I don't need anything from her, but I will give back to her instead of. But this is our culture. It's happened every morning, all around it. It's not only this one spot, but around the town, all over the town. People will go down there to the river and do bathing. And this is the best way for us to be very convenient when we are bathing. And after that, this one can be the hammock for the baby, to carry a baby. Yeah, over here. You can do like this one. Tie it on your back like this, and then you can have a baby here.
That's what you did for your little one?
Yeah, in America you will have a very convenient one, like you will have the baby
Oh
here,
yeah, it's
right?
very fancy.
Right.
There's one. What's the one he had? It's like
And I also
2 hours
have
of
this one
instructions.
for my backpack. Once I go to the rice farm, you know what I do is I put my sticky rice here, my waters here, and then I wrap it up and then I do like this.
So
I
you
got
got your lunch?
everything here.
Your
And then
lunch?
I tie it up. And then just can carry
Shoulder.
from in the shoulder. And then this one can be my hat, you know. Yeah, this one
Is
can
it,
be
and
like
it's
this.
cotton. It looks like it's cotton.
Cotton, yes.
Cotton, huh?
It can be like this.
If it's too sunny
So suddenly you can get it like
or
this.
windy.
And harvesting the rice. And this one can be a hammock for the baby. If we have baby to go to the rice farm with us,
Yeah.
we tie it at the pole of the cottage, 2 of them, and then we have baby here, and then we leave the baby on the hammock. We go and work at the rice farm. But this is very
Very useful.
very useful.
Multi. It's not a mangy curve.
Berry tree. This is not from the one that we usually to feed the silkworm. That one, the bark cannot make the fiber.
Oh.
Because the bark is not tough enough. But this one is the grow in wild. We collect that, we dry out by sun, and we boil it for 24-hour boil. And then they have to pound. They have the mortar. And after we boil it, after it's soft, we put it here and pound hardly. Finally, we're gonna get a very fine fiber, and then we made that to a paper.
Is that on a small tree or a bush?
No,
or
this is a
like
big
grass?
tree.
Big tree.
Big tree.
Mulberry tree.
It can be 15 meters or 20 meters. And this is, they can dry out in one day. You can,
Wow.
If like that, you know, you can put the leaf on, you can put different type of things on.
Hold it up so we can take a picture. Here. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, it is. That is pretty. I like that. That is very pretty. Tell me when you're done. We're done. Yeah, I'm done.
If you want to walk, I think a lot of living already.
Medium quality.
Yeah, medium quality.
Wear a little thing on your belt. No, wear like that. And then you've got. Now,
This is a master weaving. school and shop.
So this is the main dairy. We're gonna get it up from here.
So we can wander now.
Yeah, wander around.
I thought you were taking me down there for.
Phải khử với mày. Mua đường. Xuân này lên.
So the silkworm here is locally from Laos. Some silkworm we import from China. But once you look at our silkworm, they're gonna produce different colors. Some is yellow like this, some is white locally. Like, but they are all mixed up. They are all mixed up. So this age it takes about 45 days, and then most of the cocoon, most of the silkworm, they're gonna produce the silk around itself. It becoming a cocoon later on. So all these type are already spinning the silk around itself. So normally the best way to do is we just put the silkworm into the the bamboo things there, and then it's very easy for them to climb up and spinning around itself. Then it's very easy for us to collect the cocoon later for making a silk. This is a natural dye. What she do is, you know, the raw silk. There is the sap or the resin cover most of the silk. It's very
They boil it off.
Yeah, it's very tough, and then they boil it up like this. They use the ash water to boil it to release the sap, and then it gets soft. After it gets soft, they use this to get gold color, and then they finally after they boil it to get gold color, then they use vinegar to fix the color.
Okay.
Or the tamarind.
This is the Ethnology Museum, and these are the opium growing tribes here, costumes.
Se agruparon, ahora depende que eran oficialmente 49 etnias. Entonces, bueno, la parte del norte acá O y Go, ¿no? Ese origen viene de China. Tiene sus dialectos, ¿no? Hablan, no tiene letras, no solo de conversación, la más muy bonita, cuando la gente se va allí, se participa en esas actividades. Ese es sobre la etnia Ajá. Y la otra etnia que tenemos también es la etnia Hmong, que se llama Hmong. Ese también tiene origen de China, ¿no? Igual que ese Yao, también ese Hmong de. Entonces cada etnia tiene su ropa típica, ¿no? Esa gente que habla más o menos casi entiende el mismo dialecto. Sin embargo, esa gente tiene sus escrituras, ¿no? Tiene un alfabeto como si fuera latino, ¿no? grupos Hmong, por ejemplo, Hmong blancos, Hmong negros, negra, y Hmong rayados, Hmong rayado. La manga de color. Fiesta tradicional de ellos aquí también, cuando llega la fiesta, la novia y el novio para casarse durante una noche, el hombre también hace novias. Entonces en la mano tiene una pelota a veces hecho de telas, a veces de tenis, ¿no? Así, tirando, lanzando así, la muchacha lanzando al hombre también, ¿no? Mirando, fijando a ver quién es, mirando a ver si estoy enamorado, y la muchacha está, sabe que es
Eres un artista, hombre.
entonces antes, ¿no? Ellos dicen, antes, ahora también, antes, el muchacho, antes de preparar muchos niños de su bolsillo, cuando durante la conversación de la muchacha y muchacho, no sé qué, la muchacha coge la mano, lleva a la muchacha, aunque esa, si ella no quiere que ese muchacho, ¿qué pasa?
Oh my goodness, I should say. What does Jane stand here?
They grow the vegetable in there, but one thing's happening to the local, you know, sometimes the vegetable is absorbed some chemical, and then the baby inside the pregnant lady get affected on that.
Oh, that's sort of the process.
It's happening to the place where they get the bomb. You know, the chemical is covered all over the area, and it still exists until the moment. Yeah, like yeah. So this type is a cluster bomb. The cluster bomb after they throw from the sky, so it's gonna open on the air, and then over 400 up small bomb inside will splitting up all over and kill a lot of people. At the moment, a lot of children they get affected from the bomb, the smaller bomb, that's still not explosive in the rice farm area.
Now the next one is another bomb standing up.
Yeah, the next one is what we call the fire bomb. The fire bomb, which is it can be burn everything around the area. That's why it makes a lot of mountains in our country is bowhead without tree because of this type of bomb. Yeah. This is also the one we call fire bomb too. This one, look at, this is already take the gap gun out. The local people, we always have the gap gun for hunting, for shooting. It's a homemade guns that we do.
these U.S. bombs?
This one is absolutely U.S. bomb. Yes.
How many coming up? Yeah, get a photo.
Oh, the kids over there are just absolutely hilarious.
He hasn't let loose of my hand, and he just picked as a flower. Just wonderful.
Please feel free to call me Sean. And a bit of my name is, a bit of my background. I was born in a farmer's family, which is my village. It's not in the capital city. I'm living in the northern part of the country, what we call the place near the Ho Chi Minh Trail. I'm sure you heard something about that Ho Chi Minh Trail in that province. But according to the bombing situation, a lot of people, huge group of population in that province, we migrate from that province to Vientiane because of we avoid the bombing at that time. So that's why I was born in Vientiane, but we still have our own career. We are farmers. We have a large farmer now, but it's in outskirts of the city. So finally, I graduated from the Dong Duc University in Vientiane. I used to be a monk for 5 years. And also why I end up with this job, because this is one of my best jobs that I like. I used to put several hats before I end up with this job. I used to be a waiter, I used to be a doorman, and also I used to be the what we call, the bartender. You mix the drink, everything, and that is all about. But why I like this job? The first one is because I like to show my country to the travelers. I like to show what we had in our country to the travelers, and I like to talk, to chat, to exchange the interculture to most of the foreigners as well. One day in my farm, I got a huge group of travelers coming in my farm during I'm harvesting the rice, and I saw one man. He's a trip leader. He just explained blah 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 everything, and I found that is what I'm going to be after after I graduate from the university. So that's why I finally get successful with my job, and finally I end up to work with OAT because of the uniqueness of the company. Why is that? I used to work with several companies in our country, but it's not like this company, because most of the company that they run the tour with a tourism version, what we call tourist version, and OAT run the tour with traveling experience version. So that's why I will name everyone is like travelers here. You are not tourists, because of what OAT provide to our traveler is experience. One aims together why we are grouping together here, because you want experience. It's nothing about just taking pictures and walk away, and when you go back home you just look at the pictures. If you do that way, you might not bring the good experience with you at the end of the tour. That's why my aim here is to provide you most of the best experience before leaving my country.